I just want to take a second to let you know that I am gifting my limited edition Ed Sheeran G-Shock to one of you watching right now, so stick around. This is the 12 by Christopher Ward, a brand that in my opinion is the very essence of what I call blue-collar luxury. That is in no way to say that Christopher Ward's watches are out of their environment in an office setting, because they most definitely are not. One look at the 12 and luxury is the first word that comes to mind. Like a kid in a candy store, the eyes don't know where to focus first. Is it the integrated bracelet that makes this watch so cool, or is it the 12-sided bezel that gave the watch its name? Maybe it's the finish that catches your eye, as the 12's bezel alone boasts 3 separate finishes: brushed, polished, and sandblasted. Whatever it is, there's no denying that this is one beautiful watch. In my opinion, this brand seems to be a brand for real watch enthusiasts, people that just love watches, appreciate quality, and may not be in the position to drop 30 grand on a Royal Oak. And let's be honest, one look at the 12 and it is clear the Royal Oak played a key role in the inspiration of the design. And what's really cool is that Christopher Ward doesn't shy away from this, they own it. And even shares the fact that the 12 was inspired by the 1970s design of Gérald Genta. If you're not familiar with Gérald Genta, he is a legend watch designer and is responsible for bringing the world the 1959 updated Omega Constellation, as well as Audemars Piguet's most iconic watch, the Royal Oak, which Genta designed in a single night after receiving a call from AP management asking him to design the world's first luxury sports watch made out of steel. Genta could have stopped there and would have still been considered one of the greatest watch designers of all time, but after receiving a call from Patek Philippe in 1976, Genta added one more icon to his list, the Nautilus. And legend has it, Genta designed the Nautilus in 5 minutes on the back of a napkin. Fast forward to April 2004, and the 2 of the 3 founders of Christopher Ward, CEO Mike France and Peter Ellis, were closing a deal on the sale of the Early Learning Center, a company that along with the rest of the board members, the 2 had purchased in October of 2001. The sale left both founders in a place where they no longer needed to work. But in the words of CEO Mike France, people are meant to be productive. And because of this, Mike and Peter decided they wanted to start another company. And since they both shared a passion for horology, they hooked up with an old friend of Mike's, Chris Ward, and started a watch company. Christopher Ward's early designs were dress watches and were heavily inspired by IWC, which CEO Mike France is a big fan of. He even went as far on a podcast as to give reference, comparing the look of Christopher Ward's C5 Malvern to the IWC Portofino. And to be honest, I find the fact that he has the courage to say that kind of refreshing. A true artist finds their style by first combining the things that inspire them until it becomes their own, and Christopher Ward has done just that. One look at the 12, and again, there's no denying the Genta influence, yet at the same time, this watch is 1000% recognizable as a Christopher Ward. The 12 comes in 2 versions, one in steel with the SW200 movement, and the one that I have in hand today on loan from Christopher Ward, the titanium version with a COSC certified chronometer movement, the SW300, that beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour and boasts an impressive 56 hours of power reserve. And being that I had it in my possession, I had to test it out. Okay, so this is the Christopher Ward 12, the titanium version. It has the Sellita SW300, and it is a chronometer certified movement. And in this position, it is running around 1 second per day, amplitude 243. So I would say this thing is averaging, just fell down to 0 seconds. I would say it's averaging between 1 and 4 seconds per day. So it is well within the chronometer standards. Okay. I'm impressed. Both versions come in 40mm, while only the steel version is available in smaller sizes of 36 and 38mm. Christopher Ward claims that they don't do luxury. They pride themselves on bringing the most value for money. Mike France has even said that Christopher Ward makes the cheapest, most expensive watches in the world. A nod to the fact that their watches are priced at only 3x the cost of production, while some other notable brands have a markup 10 times that of Christopher Ward. They're able to do this because they do not spend money on celebrity advertisements, and they have opted out of brick and mortar retail. Although Christopher Ward can only be purchased online, they do have a showroom in Maidenhead, England, and a newly opened U.S. location just outside of Dallas, Texas, where an appointment can be made so that you can get a real hands-on experience with the watches. And if you're one of those I'm all about the dial people, the 12 doesn't disappoint there either. Although I myself prefer the dials that are in the steel versions over the fancy colors that are in the titanium. The titanium and the steel versions both share what Christopher Ward describes as a three-dimensional pyramid pattern that is in reference to the Twin Flags logo that Christopher Ward has been using since 2020. Now, on their third logo iteration, Christopher Ward had been wanting to use the Twin Flag logo design since 2015, but we're told by their lawyers that the giants over at the Swatch Group may have taken issue with it. So to save millions in litigation, Christopher Ward went with a dual logo until 2020, when the Twin Flag logo had been in use for 5 years, and past the point they would face any problems using it as a standalone logo. Mike Francis said that sales have increased by doing nothing at all besides changing to the Twin Flag logo, stating that one model sales have increased by 25%. And ironically, if you ask me what is the one thing that I did not care for on early Christopher Ward watches, it would be the logo. So I can see why the new logo is working out so well. Designed in England, built in Switzerland. So while Christopher Ward is a Swiss watch brand, they are very proudly a British company. The website states that England is the nation that brought the world the Aston Martin and the Sex Pistols, and they believe the Christopher Ward designs reflect both sides of that nature. And while I am not really old enough to know anything about the Sex Pistols, I think I get their point. Christopher Ward likes to say, do your research. A bold invitation to come and take a look, compare, make your own judgment if the brand is right for you. Maybe a sports watch like the 12 isn't your thing. You're more of a diver person. Then just take a look at the C60 Trident, because Christopher Ward has you covered. Not into dive watches, no nonsense military style field watches are more your thing. Check out the C65 Sandhurst. If retro is your thing, take a look at the C65 compressor. And I am not going to lie, I know this watch is out there, but I want one for myself. But it doesn't stop there, because I haven't even got to my favorite one yet. Just look at this beauty. And I'm not going to get into the details on this watch because I believe it deserves a video all to its own. But I have heard that one of the founding members, Peter Ellis, reads the Christopher Ward forums every day. And I am guessing that means he also watches the watch reviews. So, Mr. Ellis, put the black dial with the black strap on reserve for me first. Okay, as with every review, there has to be a section for the good, the bad, and the ugly. So with that said, what are the pros and cons of this watch? I think for the 12, the pros are that this thing is just a great looking watch. It has a serious presence on the wrist, and there is just no way around it. The design is something that should be admired. It is unbelievably thin, and that is a massive selling point for me. This watch will work with just about any attire and is sure to draw attention. So if you are looking for a conversation starter, this thing will do the trick. For the cons, if you're a person that likes to change it up by simply changing your strap, the integrated design means that you are going to have to purchase these straps from Christopher Ward, and there are not going to be tons of options. But with that said, this will be the case with any watch you purchase with an integrated bracelet, no matter the brand. If I had to pick one gripe that Christopher Ward could easily change, it would be the options configuration. I am not big on titanium and would much prefer the steel option, but would also like to have the SW300 COSC certified movement. I know this is silly because the SW200 that is in the steel version is a tried and true workhorse that is built like a tank, but knowing that the SW300 is a COSC certified movement makes the watch snob in me want it. Another gripe would be that there is no micro adjustment, but that is just what you get with an integrated bracelet. Even the Royal Oak has no adjustment clasp, so I was just willing to accept that until I saw this. And yes, that's right, Christopher Ward has added an adjustable clasp to the 12X. And if you were wondering what separates the 12X from the 12, that would be Christopher Ward in-house movement caliber SH21. And if you know anything about in-house movements, you will know that this is not something independent brands do. They just don't touch it. The cost of the development and the production are just too high. I'm sure that Christopher Ward sees their in-house movement as the Mount Everest, the pinnacle, the highest of achievements. And I would agree that it is up there, but There is one achievement, in my opinion, that Christopher Ward has done that has surpassed even the in-house movement. They started a company, carved out a share of the watch market, and became a respected household name amongst real watch enthusiasts. And they did that in just 20 years. Anyone who is a watch enthusiast knows that most brands are not taken serious until they have history. And I mean a lot more history than 20 years. So, in my opinion, that is their single largest achievement to date, and I cannot wait to see what this company does over the next 20. So let's get to the Seiko giveaway, but before we do, I have been telling you that I have been considering gifting one of you my limited edition Ed Sheeran G-Shock, and this is going to be the video where that happens. And all you need to do to enter for next week's drawing is head over to Christopher Ward's website, take a look at their lineup, and then tell me in the comments what your favorite Christopher Ward model is. But while you're there, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing. Let's get to the giveaway. All right, so bear with the audio on this one because I am recording it on my cell phone. Let's see who the winner is this week. Angry Gummy Bear. I'm saving my money to buy and that is correct. He mentioned the Oris Aquas. It was your pick under $2,000. Thank you for leaving the comment. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations to the winner. And again, show Christopher Ward some love in the comments. Hit that like button. It helps to push the video. Watch this video right here, and I will see you on the next one.